Okay. Um, so getting us together to just kind of mastermind and answer questions, see where we're going, where you feel like you want to go, but you aren't able to get there, that kind of thing. I don't know. Lisa, Maria, Tanya, anything?
I couldn't hear you in the first part. I
Yeah,
just
I
got
can
my
hear you.
audio.
Yeah, I'm glad I can hear you now. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
I wasn't saying anything important, just that I was kind of wanting to do this every week or so, just to kind of keep us all on the same track, keep us motivated moving forward, kind of discuss strategy as far as if you've never done a team cut before, kind of what that looks like and how to get the most out of what we're doing. And also to answer any questions specifically. We don't have a ton of time because I'm on the limited plan for, excuse me, for Zoom, so it'll cut us off after 40 minutes. But
oh, Danielle, so next time we do it, we can use mine because I'm not limited. I pay.
Okay, that's fine.
That way we're not. If we find we're running out of time.
Yeah, that's fine. So Lisa, I know you had a question during the week. Did you have a chance to watch any of those videos?
No, unfortunately I didn't, just because I'm so busy with training the other two and trying to get them sold.
Sure.
I've been trying to follow that calendar. However, I guess because I'm not very calendar organized, kind of makes it harder for me to understand exactly how those weeks were planned out or how they mapped them out.
Okay.
Just because I'm still trying to understand the terminology that Beachbody uses.
I was going to say, I think there might be a lack of basic understanding there because you really haven't gotten a chance to do much of the training, I don't think. Like you said, with terminology and kind of how to even do that, because it's nice for a calendar to say, okay, well, I want you to hit SC3 by the 5th or 3 by the 3rd or whatever. But if you don't even know what SC means or how to earn SC or anything, like that doesn't mean anything to you. You don't know how to do it. And so I am happy to help you with that. And I know Tanya and Maria, you guys have all had Success Club points and have Success Club points now. So that's, that's certainly something you guys can weigh in on too. So I guess just basic knowledge wise, SC means Success Club. And you get Success Club points for every challenge pack or Shakeology Home Direct or Performance Line Home Direct order that you sell. So a challenge pack is a workout and a shake together, or workout and Performance Line together. They're all kind of worth different things, but your goal monthly is at minimum 5. So that's the reason they set that, is because if you hit Success Club 5 every month, you never have to technically pay for your Shakeology, meaning that your commission is enough that it covers the cost of your Shakeology monthly. And then they have all kinds of cute little graphics and stuff in the training that show you. So if you hit Success Club 5 in February, and you hit Success Club 5 in March, and you hit Success Club 5 in April, those people that stay on Home Direct, those orders continue to come in. And that's how you build a team. That's how you build income with commissions, because those people are then ordering about 90 personal volume every month. So you kind of get a ball rolling, you get snowball going. So how to do that? I mean, I guess that's why we're really here. And maybe Tanya and Maria, you guys can share kind of your approaches. And Maria, I'm not as familiar with how you work, if you're mostly social media or if you're mostly face-to-face. I know, Tanya, you're mostly face-to-face. Guys, go ahead.
Yeah, I am social media. I try to share, try to share online, and I try to make a connection with the people who likes my post. And what has been working lately for me is like on December, I did Shakeology experience, 7-day experience, which I'm doing. I'm gonna do it on the 13th again. And so people can try Shakeology first. I give away just for 2 persons, and their others have to buy the 7-day sample. So that way they try first, because I have been having experience with customers that they are allergic to. They find out that they're allergic. Like one lady last week, she is allergic to whey. That's how you say. So, but for me, it worked the Shakeology experience, because that was my customer, my first 3 points that I got last week. So mostly social media. I try to share. I work at a daycare, so every morning I walk in with my shake and drinking, and people see me. I work with infants and pre-toddlers, and I'm always active. And I'm 35 years old, and they say, "Oh, Miss Maria, how are you?" I drink Shakeology, I do exercise. So I try to, yes, and that's what keeps me going. So,
Yeah.
Well, that's how I do it. I try.
Well, I love that. And so, Lisa, something you can take away from that would be visible with what you're doing, whether that be with social media, or Tanya, I think you'll probably touch even more on face-to-face. But for me, my primary, I mean, obviously face-to-face, because I am involved in a lot of different groups, but primarily my business is built online. That's where I make my connections. That's where I really build relationships, is online. And so in order to do that, I share what I'm doing online. Like, Lisa, if you translated everything you do with horses and started filtering in some of the workouts that you do, some of the shake, and you've done that before, but you just need to do it more. And even go back then once you've posted. And what I will do is, like, I'll post something and I'll give it a day, maybe 24 hours or so. And then I will go back and message every single person that isn't already a coach or a customer of mine, or someone else's that I know of. And I'll follow up with them. And I won't talk about Shakeology. I won't bring business into it at all. I will just message them and be like, "Hey, I don't know, Sonia, how are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well." And just start conversating. And then the natural questions are, what have you been up to? How are you doing? And that's where you can say, like, "Oh man, I'm doing really great. I feel the best I've ever felt." Like, and that's a natural conversation flow kind of thing. Tanya, you want to talk about face-to-face a little more?
So yeah, and ironically, I will be transitioning as I lose my coworkers. Coworkers were my easiest pitch. I've been active duty military, and the biggest thing is, like, drinking it at work is like key, like number one, right? Like, I always have Shakeology on my desk. I even keep, I think it's downstairs, I keep a Shakeology shaker bottle with a packet shoved in it. That's like my emergency stash. And so for a while there was like a break in case of emergency sticky note on it. That was like my icebreaker, where people would come up to my desk and be like, "What the heck is that?" And I could explain it. But I also believe very firmly in asking people what their own fitness goals are, and then following up with them like I'm already their coach. I find that people respond really well to that. Like, I have a guy right now that I'm working on, he has gout. And so he's really hesitant to try Shakeology because of the high protein, right, quote unquote, which is fine, whatever. So I just keep asking him, "How's that gout doing for you? You said you were going to try that workout." I don't know. And believe it or not, that's worked better than anything else, is just reminding people and keeping it top of mind until it gets to the point where they're like, "Oh, you're going to ask me about," and eventually I'm like, I'm perfectly willing to help you take that next step and work towards another goal in a more structured way, if that's of interest to you. And it's a longer term goal with people, because you're letting them kind of hit the realization point of, I can't really do this on my own. And because I'm so public about, like, so like yesterday I hurt my shoulder. I had just restarted T25. It was going really well. And then yesterday I literally could not move my shoulder. And I had a couple of people ask me about it. And I was like, boom, let me tell you all about my problems. And I didn't sell them on Beachbody or Shakeology. I just said, you know, oh, I'm really bummed because I just got back into this great workout that I love. And I, like Danielle said, I let them kind of bring it up because it's more powerful when it originates in them.
Well, and I think just being public and vulnerable with what's going on with your life is really key about it, because number one, that's what connects you. And I don't know, I think for me anyway, I actually lose connection with people when I feel like they're too perfect. Like, oh, they're just so fit and they love working out. And you create these like almost conversations in your mind before they even happen. And so I'm turned off by that. So for me, what connects me to other people is them being open and honest and sharing their struggles. And, you know, that Shakeology is a very quick breakfast for me. Like, my kids are crazy in the morning. And if I can share that I can grab this and run out the door, like, that is helpful to other people because I know that they're struggling with the same thing. Same thing with the workout. I regularly share that I hate working out. It's not a lie. I hate working out. I don't like it, but I know what it does for me, and I've done it for 2.5 years regularly. And so now my body craves it whether I want to do it or not. But I can promise you there's not generally a morning where I'm like, man, I can't wait to push play. Like, it's the best part of my day. It's generally not. But I know it works. I know that if I keep doing it, it's successful. But sharing that, and Tanya, I wanted to piggyback off of something you said. You had talked about, what is it that you said? That people ask you, like, you let people ask you, well, if you're public about what you're doing without being annoying, like, hey, join my group, join my group, join my group, join my group, like all the time in people's faces. If you just post and let that be part of who you are and not a sales pitch, when you do approach those conversations privately, people already know what you're doing. Like, regularly, it's like, man, Lisa, you look so good. Like, that, you're just doing so awesome. And again, that's your invitation to say, well, you know, it's not like some super secret thing that nobody else can do. Like, I host challenge groups. My coach hosts challenge groups. We can be in it together. Like, I can be your accountability partner, that kind of thing. In the beginning of my journey, I found a lot of success with approaching people from an accountability partner standpoint. Because there's nothing that I will ever say that's a big gimmick. Like, I'm not saying something that I don't truly mean, because I will go to them and say, like, listen, I'm getting ready to start this program and I'm honestly super intimidated by it. Like, you said you really like lifting weights, but you haven't had time to go to the gym because you got a new baby. Like, that's the same place I was, but I'm super intimidated by this program. And I'd really just like to have an accountability partner. So I'm reaching out to some girlfriends of mine who I think would make really good accountability partners for each other. And right there, you're already building a team atmosphere, a group of people that all come in together to do a challenge. It almost feels like they're helping you out, kind of thing. And it is, like, because for me, part of what keeps me going is the challenge group atmosphere. That's why I host them. And I never not host one, if that makes sense. Like, because, and as much as it's for sales and it's for other people, more than that, it's for me, because if I don't have my challenge group, I don't have that accountability. I'm not going to follow through. Like, I know myself well enough to know my behaviors slack off when I know people are not keeping up anymore. That might be something to share.
And for me, it's funny. I really struggle with putting myself out there, which some people would argue with, but I won't. I'm honest with myself. Part of it for me is like, yesterday when I hurt my shoulder, I should have posted on it. I should have posted a picture of me with the heating pack and me, like, I was wedged into the corner of the couch so it wouldn't move. But I didn't want to. But today's me is like, damn it, yesterday's me, you were uncomfortable with it, you needed to just do it. And, or like I had stopped drinking Shakeology for probably 2 weeks. I was only drinking like maybe 1 or 2 a week because my routine changed and I dropped it. And I stopped posting. I stopped everything. And don't ever stop posting because you kill yourself on Facebook algorithm. Like you just do. Like I have to start from the beginning now in terms of like clawing my way back up to getting 15 or 16 likes on a post and just getting my organic reach back because I stopped posting. And so Facebook's like, obviously you're not important anymore. So if I can post something that is personal and reaches people, it'll help with that because more people will like it and comment on it.
Well, and Tanya, just to address what you're talking about specifically, there's nothing to say you can't post all of that today.
Oh, well, no, and I, yeah, you know what my life is like, dear God.
Totally.
Yeah, it's been, and I need to go live.
Yeah.
Be like, life is, because we're not sharing, so we're closing on a house next week, and we're not sharing it to social media until we close. Murphy is too.
I wouldn't say anything.
Right? So it's proving to be hard to post on social media because I'm like, life. That's my whole post. Just
I
life.
tell people that I'm moving, so
right, like because I don't like people don't even know we're PCSing and then I'm separating, and I need to do like one big reveal post, and as soon as I have clear to close, I will do that. But I just don't want to. Like, I'm having a case of the don't want tos, and it's not just Beachbody business; it's my whole life.
Yeah. Well, and major change, I think, can bring that out really quickly in people.
God, yeah.
I mean, routine change in general, like with Lisa, with Dustin's leg. I mean, that's a big shift in your norm and what's going on in your family, and it disrupts the rhythm of what's going on. So you don't even feel like you can be normal because there's just this big thing that's going on. You don't know how to talk.
Yeah, well, I still did hold myself accountable when he was laying on the recliner because I was like, okay, good. Stay put. I'm going to do my workout real quick. The only bad part about having him in the chair was he was a critic. Get your leg up higher. Can't you stretch any further? No, I can't. My body's not that flexible. So, I mean, in a way, it was good because he was there to give me my accountability. However, yeah, it did throw off a lot of things because I went back on my routine with my horses that I was supposed to be working because I had to take care of him. And then on top of that, having a toddler running around the house, it just got really chaotic. But, I mean, I will give myself props. I did keep up with my Shakeology every day.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't want to fall back into the stomach issues that I had before. Which actually, that's one thing that did help me. I haven't had a stomach issue since I started, which is really, really good on my part.
And Lisa, let me interrupt you really quick. I actually think all of what you're doing with your stomach issues, with keeping accountability is all amazing. And I think what the piece that's lacking is you sharing that publicly.
Yeah. Probably.
And is that a I mean, and let's get real up in here. Is that a vulnerability issue?
Yeah, my life is very private. Ever since something happened when I was 13, ever since that, never really share anything. Everything stays in. I don't really like to share things that are personal for some reason. That is something I can work on. I mean, that would be a challenge on my part. That means I would literally have to open up and be like, oh, crap, I got to actually share with people. But I guess in one way, it could bring up a conversation. Maybe somebody else went through the same thing and I don't know about it. And that'd be one thing to bring up and help each other out. Because that's one thing that before we actually moved here, when I was living in Southern California, that's all I did was work out. I worked out with an MMA trainer, worked out at a kickboxing place, worked out at the gym. and I was like in amazing shape. So, and then just to, went down to doing nothing. And now I'm trying to get back into it because that gave me like a purpose. And I guess it was, I found other people that were giving me really good nutritional advice, and I'd ask them more questions. And then before you knew it became, I guess almost like a necessity to have that type of nutrition and workout and everything to just keep my sanity. So I guess I can kind of start to open up again.
Well, and don't feel like when I ask you something like that, like, don't feel like tonight or tomorrow you have to go and like vomit over everybody. Something that I did that I highly recommend to my coaches, especially the newer ones, or maybe like, first 3 months kind of thing. And it really, really helped me, was to sit down and type out or write out kind of a biography of sorts, but of health and major life altering events kind of thing. It was an assignment for one of my grad school classes. And I can see if I can pull up the questions that it was, but basically it was like, talk about your childhood, like in the nutrition choices that were made by your family and stuff like that. So, and the only reason I'm putting myself as the example is because I've been doing this for a long time and I've seen lots of other people do it, and they all kind of have the same thing. But like for me, one of the easiest ways to connect is talk about my childhood and how I was raised, and not in a like I'm shaming my parents kind of way, but in these were the decisions that were made that led me to where I was, that then led me to where I am now. So, for example, like my mom was a single mother. That's something I share a lot about because I'm not a single mother, and I don't want my kids to have to deal with the choices she made out of necessity. Like she made especially the nutrition choices she did because of lack of education and lack of time. She worked 2 jobs and did not have any time or money to devote to healthy, nutritious food. It was all convenience food, all frozen. She was a very good cook, but she just did not have the time or money to take care of that. And so, and from, like 80s and 90s, and Maria, you said, what, you're 35? So, I mean, we're around about the same age. I'm 32, but that period of time when we were like late elementary to the end of high school, the nutrition information that was given out by, as far as like head of people giving out nutrition, USDA and stuff like that, and FDA, was all low fat, low calorie, sugar free, like all of the packaging, marketing bullcrap that we now know is not correct. But I was raised to believe that that was the kind of food that I was seeking in the store, was diet food. And so all of that to say, like, that shaped how I became so overweight, which then shaped how I had to shift my mindset to where I am now, if that makes sense. And I could go and blast out like all of that, or I can insert little pieces of it, breadcrumbs of it, throughout lots of different posts. So I don't have to tell my whole story in one post. I can just talk about one post. So like, for example, Lisa, if we're talking strictly about yours, you said, I picked up on, you said you had done MMA workouts. So say you try a core de force and you're like, and your post looks something like, oh man, that totally brought me back to my days of working out in the MMA gym with so-and-so and so-and-so. Like, I felt like a total badass. Like I could kick major butt again. Like, totally brought me back to that. Like, and talk just a little bit about like, that was when I was at my fittest, and, you know, life happens. And now I'm working my way back into where I was before, where I was comfortable with my body, where I felt strong and lean. And there's your post. Like, it doesn't have to be anything more than that. So then people hit like and love, and they're like, yeah, Lisa, you're awesome. You rock. High five, girl. Like, and then that's the list of people that you then take to that next 24 hours. And you just go through that list and you're like, all right, well, Ashley and Lacey and, I don't know, Shayna and blah, 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 blah. Like, all these people gave you encouragement, then reach out to them and say, hey, thanks for the encouragement yesterday. Like, it might seem easy that I post stuff, but it's really not. And that's all you have to say. Like, that naturally starts a conversation. And that's really what all of this is about. It's not about selling somebody something so that they can give you a paycheck. It's about connecting with them. Like Tanya, what you were saying, it's about figuring out, okay, this guy has gout. What's in Shakeology that helps gout? Let me do a quick Google search. But my father-in-law has gout. Shakeology has been amazing for his gout. Like,
yeah, and dear God, don't even get me started on this guy. I'm like, dude, maybe if you stopped eating the crap you were eating, your gout would feel better, but, you know, who am I to judge?
yeah.
Well, and I, you know, Lisa, to what, like, literally what you said is so, you have a great story, right? Like, you have this story of, like, I was in this place and I had the time and energy to go to the gym all the time, and this is what I was doing, but it's not my life now. And like, now I've got husbands and horses and blah. And so, yeah, like, capitalize on that transition story, because people identify with that. People identify with, like, I used to be and now I'm, and I wish I could be that, but I can't do what I did last time, right? Like, we all want to go back to the system that worked for us, but we can't seem to recognize that we can't. You can't go back to what was working. You have to find a new way to get the results. And, you know, that's my, like, absolute favorite thing about Shakeology is that I freaking, when my stomach is upset because of stress, or I just don't have time, or I don't want to eat, that's like my go-to meal. That's my go-to thing. It's like, oh my God, it's 9:30 and I just realized I had breakfast that was a shake this morning. I'll have another shake, fine. At least I'll have another shake, and then I'm putting something on my system. And so it doesn't have to be crazy deep. I overshare all the time.
And there's a difference in word vomit and sharing to be authentic with other people. Like, for example, Lisa, when have you have not posted a transformation picture from when you started to now, have you?
This past challenge? No, I haven't.
Any
Not
of
this
it?
past.
I
Huh?
know the answer to the question I'm asking.
No.
And for me, I posted my first transformation picture in the challenge group, in Erica's challenge group. And that's it. I'd been a coach, but I was really stuck on, I still don't look inspiring. Like, number one, I did not see that there was that much of a change at the time. I still wore the same pant size. I did not see there was that much change. I mean, yeah, I lost a good amount of weight, but it really was not like, oh, like, let me share this with everybody. I felt not, like, to be honest, it was like, I'm not ever sharing this with anyone, ever. The very first time that I ever shared a transformation, we got 10 minutes, and I want to go back to Maria real quick too. The very first time I did, I almost went in the bathroom and threw up.
Yep.
Like, and I'm not sharing underwear and bra pictures. Like, I'm sharing a picture in workout pants and in like a tighter t-shirt.
Oh, it's even worse when you do bra and underwear.
Well, now I've finally, after 2 years, gotten more comfortable with doing a sports bra and workout pants. Like, it's just not comfortable for the majority of anybody. And my experience in the things that I've shared, because I have been open and raw and vulnerable, I would say 20 times in 2 years. And every single time that happens, I want to run to the bathroom and puke. And to me, I've found that that's an indicator that post will connect with lots of people. We'll get really great feedback, and I will, like, smash Success Club that month, because that's what people identify with. And so I finally shared my very first T25 transformation pictures, and people are like, oh my God. And, you know, separate that from a year from when I took them. I'm like, no, there's a lot of change. They're like, man, I have a neck. Isn't that exciting? Like, I never knew that before.
And what's funny to me is, so I do the bra and underwear, like, traditional bra, boy short underwear, side and front. And I posted about 3 or 4 of them. And I run a completely separate business, right, where people look at me. And I had one woman go, "You got balls, woman, to post those on your Facebook page." And I was like, one, I'm more covered than if I'm in a bikini. And two, if I can't own who I am, how in the world am I going to own your, and then I spin it into my other business, right? So it's like, it reverberates past like that one post. When people like scroll through your history, they're like, wow, you really do put yourself out there. And yeah, that's what keeps me from deleting them. Because I know they're out there, right? Like it's, and I actually, what I need to do is take another starting picture, because I didn't take one after my first 30 days of, but just take your freaking pictures is all I can say too. Because I didn't take them after 30 days of Quarter Force, and I've lost some progress that I wish I could say, like, here's what sitting on your ass for a month looks like, guys.
Well, and being vulnerable, because people have done that. Like, you're not the only person that has ever been super fit and is not now super fit and wants to be super fit. Like, not even a little the only person.
Yeah.
And so you're drawing from a whole group of people that want to do the same thing you're doing. You just have to share it, because if you don't share it, nobody knows what you're doing.
Well, and everybody gets so intimidated. They're like, oh, well, you're a Beachbody coach, so you're in crazy good shape, and you just live working out, and and I'm like, oh my God, woman, you have no idea. I eat takeout 6 times this week for dinner alone, right? Like, and so if I'm not sharing that, and if I'm not putting myself out there, then people just go, oh, you're Beachbody again.
Well, but people form a story about you if you don't tell them what's going on. Like, I am the world's worst at looking at somebody. And I don't like, when I say like I form a story about them, it's not like some judgmental, like, oh, well, that person's so great. It's like, oh, I bet she likes to eat kale. Sure does. Like, that's cool.
Or like, who was the person that posted, I don't remember what group it was in, but they'd said to themselves that this person could never afford to be a Beachbody
Wendy.
coach.
Yeah.
And then it popped up that she was asking her to be a Lulu Row group, which is like a $6,000 buy-in. Yeah. So it's like, your brain will talk you out of talking to anyone.
Oh yeah.
Your brain will figure out a reason why you don't need to start that conversation, or you don't need to post that picture, or you don't need to do that thing.
Yeah. I did want to talk, Maria, to you, because you have, so that thing is going on the 13th. You do the 7-day Shakeology experience, and then where do those people go?
Well, I send them a link for the free membership.
Okay.
Yes, to make sure that I have them for the future.
Yeah.
And then I'm creating the group on Facebook. And then in the middle of the week, I'm gonna start in 2 weeks, the cleaning free group that you gave me the idea. So I'm gonna start inviting them to that. And I wanna create I don't have like accountability group for exercise, so everyone can join, and like multi-programs, whatever. Yeah. So I wanna invite them for that too, that way. Because normally I was doing, I started this because of my sister-in-law, Diana. She started this because of Erica. So I was doing everything with Diana, and we were working out, like sharing everything together. But now she's not very active anymore, so I'm just trying to keep pushing. And I do need to have a group, like you say earlier, like, so we can support each other. So you mentioned something that I wrote it down, so that way I can start working from that, how to post and invite people just to help them. And mostly I have to tell them to help myself, so that I can have the motivation to work out with others. Yeah, and I get bored. It's just me here. Sometimes my husband, it's like I need to, get more people.
Well, and that becomes your little pod of community. I mean, like I even think about the health bet. I don't know if you did the health bet.
I did it.
Yeah. So even that little group of people that you're doing it with, they kind of become your like, oh, they did it. Good job. Like, I don't know. I personally thrive off of that accountability because I know, like you said, it gets, I mean, I get up at 5:30 in the morning and work out. Like,
I do that.
my husband isn't here. Like, it's just me. And so I need people to see that I did what I said I'm going to do. Yeah, I would really, really encourage you, and we're running short. We got a little bit less than 3 minutes. I would really encourage you to just even do it tonight. Go and just open a group. You don't even have to invite anybody into it. Name it whatever you want to name it, but create an accountability group. That's something I did at the very beginning of my business. And I've gotten away from it. There's still a nightly accountability post that goes up in it. But I'm going to go back to being a more regular poster in there. And I did a post at the very beginning of my business and said, hey, if you need any kind of accountability, like I don't care if you're doing the gym, I don't care what you're doing. I mean, you can't work with another Beachbody coach. That was the only like qualifier. But I hosted all of my free groups in that group. Everything I did went in that group. Every challenge group I hosted, everything went in that group. And that was so good for people to see that I wasn't just posting this on my timeline, like taking a picture of myself and that was it. Like I'm there supporting others.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're about to lose our time. So I want to say bye to you guys and thank you for taking time out of your night tonight to come. Hopefully it was helpful. Lisa,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Lisa, feel free to message me too about how to work on posts. And if you need to send me like, hey, I wrote this, what do you think? I can help with that, okay?
Don't worry, I will pick your brain.
I'm right here for you. So. All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Danielle.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I got great ideas from you too. So, all right. Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.